Turns out Pinocchio wasn't the only one that Neo-Wiz turned into a mechanical puppet. Apparently, the Riddler from Batman also got kind of thrown into this puppet machine. If you've played through this game, then you know that there are these telephones upon which you can talk to the King of Riddles, who only mostly talks in rhymes and presents you with a riddle. And of course, if you're able to answer these, then you get these nice little things called Trinity Keys, which get you access to these locked areas, which you get a bunch of rewards, including cool outfits and a couple of helpful items. And it also finishes up one storyline for one genius inventor in Krat, who had a very similar origin to Batman, which, now that I'm saying this out loud, there's actually quite a few connections, but more on that towards the end of the video. Top of that too, you get the End of Riddles achievement or trophy, so you can round things out pretty nicely. What's up everybody, this is going to be a video guide for Lies of P on how to find all of the different telephones and their corresponding Trinity Sanctums. Now, just to give you an idea on how this video is going to be broken down, we're going to be starting with all of the individual areas where you can find the telephones and answer all the riddles, and then we'll move over to the Trinity Sanctums because, albeit that final one at the very end there, you can use the keys in any sort of order to unlock these things, and so you might want to backtrack, and depending on which ones you've opened, that could impact how things go. Okay, starting things off, the very first telephone that you're going to be able to access, it's more or less on your actual direct route, but it's going to be in the Krat City Hall courtyard. And of course, once you just pass by a gate, you're heading towards the factory right now. Just walk past the bridge instead, and then you're going to see the first telephone there, and then you get that whole introduction to the King of Riddles. When presented with the riddle, just give the answer human, and you're going to get your very first Trinity key. The next one up chronologically is going to be in the Malnum District. Pretty much after you face that mini boss in the square with a bunch of dudes up top like throwing decay stuff at you. Just around where you do get the shortcut, just head up this ladder and you're gonna find that telephone ringing. This time around, when presented with the riddle, just make sure to answer candle, and there you go. Trinity key number 2 acquired. For the third telephone, it's going to be in the Grand Exhibition Gallery. Shortly after you open up this specific shortcut here, keep on going and you can basically find the telephone just along your pathway. It's pretty hard to miss. For this one, just make sure to give the answer egg, and then instead of actually getting the Trinity key directly, you have to solve a little extra puzzle afterwards. But if you just walk down these stairs, you're going to see this little display going on here with two statues just on the other side. You just got to rotate it so that both of these lady statues are going to be looking at the middle there, and then it'll just kind of drop down, and hey, there you go, you got your next Trinity key. Trinity key number 4 is going to be in Krat Central Station, which actually is going to happen post-earthquake, so chapter 9 and above. This time around, instead of going and fighting the brand new parade puppet, just kind of turn things around and walk backwards. It's along the pathway actually, very similar to when you were going to solve one of the cryptic vessels. You might have walked by this telephone just at the very beginning of the game, but of course this time it's actually going to be ringing, so now you can answer it and make sure to answer ergo, and you've got number 4 done and dusted. And the last one you can find, this one is a little bit of a special one, is in the Relic of Trismegistus. I'm going to say that wrong a lot this video, and I'm sorry. In the area where you would drop down in order to advance the Black Rabbit Brotherhood, fight number 2, instead just keep on walking along the path and you're gonna find this little elevation area, walk up, answer that telephone, and this time around, basically it's just gonna be like, are you a killer? And then you can either say yes or no. Doesn't really matter what your answer is here. If you lie or tell the truth, it doesn't matter. You still will get this very special key. It's just that if you do answer no, then you get this little surprise box in your inventory. If you do get the surprise box in your inventory, just go into it and then open it up. You get afflicted with some sort of random thing, so just be aware that it could instantly kill you if you roll the dice and you get disruption or something like that. But regardless, you're going to get the chosen one's Trinity key, which is a special key used for a special Trinity Sanctum. All right, you've got all those keys acquired, so now let's take a look at where all of the different Trinity Sanctums are going to lie. The very first one you're going to be able to get to is in the Workshop Union Culvert. Assuming that you do have all of the shortcuts opened here, this was the one that made the most sense to me from the Stargazer, where basically you just kind of go back on the right ladder this time, and then you just walk all the way around and then go up another ladder, which was the original shortcut, and eventually you are going to be able to find the hallway where the Trinity Sanctum will be located in. Once you open this up, you will get the Blue Blood's tailcoat and quartz. Trinity Sanctum number 2 is in St. Grangelico Cathedral Chapel, and about halfway up the tower there's this giant electric ball that's going to come down Indiana Jones style at you, and it's very scary, especially too if you are not just light, because then you probably will get hit at least once. I'm not speaking from experience. Okay, I definitely am. Now the way that I'm showing you right now is actually how to do it if you go from the top, but you know, if you made it to the top, then you probably would have seen this stuff already, so you should have a general idea on where it is. Simply go up this ladder, which is just on the side of this whole little area, and then watch out because another ball is going to come down there, but if you just dodge that one, then you will find the Trinity Sanctum just at the end of this hallway. For this one, you get the Black Cat's Amulet, Monster Sweeper's Hunting Apparel, and a full Moonstone. So 3 items this time, which is pretty neat. Trinity Sanctum number 3 is going to be in the Estella Opera House, which this one's really easy to find where that swinging chandelier is. You know, if you were a little bit unlucky with your timing, you got knocked off there, then you probably saw this thing down there. So just go in there and you're gonna find the Belford Superior Radiation Converter and Quartz. Trinity Sanctum number 4 is in Krat Central Lobby. Once again, this is going to be post-earthquake, and once you're back into that central station, instead of just advancing out where you just like walk into that whole square area, just before that, take a little bit of a left and you're gonna see a little staircase, and at the very bottom, the Trinity Sanctum is just hanging out there. For this one, you get the Workshop Master's Workwear, Carrier's Amulet, Full Moonstone of the Covenant. Last but not least is going to be the Chosen One's Trinity Sanctum, which you need the Chosen One's key for by answering that final riddle, which is going to be found in the Arche Abbey outer wall. Now in this area where you head into this tall tower type of thing, at the very bottom where one of these giant mechanical puppets is, if you're like me, you probably had a hard time fighting him, but the Trinity Sanctum is just literally right there. As soon as you open the door, you're going to notice this one's a little bit more different because everything is just kind of scattered around, and on top of that too, the King of Riddles himself is a plaster just kind of mechanically attached to the wall. He'll ask you one more question, whether or not you're a human or a puppet, and no matter what your response is, you'll get your rewards, which is going to be the Alchemist's Cape and Quartz. Also too, he does drop the whole rhyming thing, which I personally was a little bit sad that he wasn't just going to carry that one through, but Arlecchino is right in front of you. If you have talked to Venigni up until this point, then you got some little hints at how his upbringing was like, and well, you know, a puppet mysteriously came after a play and killed both of his parents, which kind of led him down the pathway of becoming this genius inventor that is hailed as the savior of Krat. Now, if you continue to talk to Arlecchino, who's just here right now, you're going to find out that Arlecchino actually was that murderous puppet who had killed Venigni's parents and kept Venigni alive just because Venigni's mom begged him not to kill her son. And Arlecchino kind of reflects on it as that was his greatest life's purpose, or his masterful art piece, some sort of supervillain-esque speech, the fact that he was able to make Venigni's life the tragedy that it was. And once you've exhausted all these talking options, then you do actually get the opportunity to kill him. And so you can finally go in and avenge Venigni for his dead parents and why his life was such a tragedy the way that it was. And of course, I mean, I said it at the beginning, but there are so many parallels right now to Batman going on here. It's like they took the Joker and the Riddler and then just kind of combined them into one. They saw Arkham City, was it? Or I think it was Arkham City, where they were like, dang, we like this whole Riddler asking questions and talking in riddles. Let's just take that and then put it kind of into Lies of P, which was basically how this whole Trinity Sanctum thing went. You know what? Maybe this is just a separate topic. I'm sorry for going on a tangent. But with that, you've successfully defeated the King of Riddles and locked all of the Trinity Sanctums, getting all of those sweet costumes and a little bit more, some pretty helpful amulets if you ask me. Also too, I do actually kind of like this quest line. I mean, obviously, it's cool when you can just get these collectibles and stuff like that, but to add a little bit of lore behind it as well, just to give a better idea, it makes for a very satisfying ending and incentivizes you really to go in and check out what the heck is going on. But once again, if this video helped you, then please like and subscribe, and you know what, comment down below, do you think Venigni is based on Batman or anything like that? I mean, I still think that has got to be a thing. It's got to be a thing, right? Like they have to have made that a thing. But also too, if you are interested in doing a complete run for all of these Lies of P videos, I did create a spreadsheet just to keep track of what I need to do in every single chapter. The link to that is actually in the description down below. And now my fire alarm is going off. I'm just gonna let it go, but hey, thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you in the next video. Goodbye.